George Street has, for the longest time, been an important and popular area of Aberdeen, especially for businesses. Lately, however, popularity has waned. The street has been looking dull for quite some time and, as a result, many businesses have been forced to close up due to a lack of popularity. As a result, the Aberdeen Council have decided to start a new initiative in order to improve the quality of George Street.
To be honest, the business used to be good in George Street, but for the last 2 years, the business is down. I don't know what is the reason. I think because of the wild world, like the oil company has been closed down or something like this. That's why the business is dead. There's a lot of the shop in George Street is closed as well. And hopefully the business and things is going back the same as last 3 years to be normal. The people can get jobs easier, people can make business easier.
This is surprising, however. George Street has a huge variety of places that you can visit, whether it be grocery stores to buy your food for the week, barber shops in order to get your hair cut, a betting shop in case you want to do a bit of gambling, tattoo parlours, a clothing store and even a couple of charity shops. Despite this, there are a few problems. One of the biggest problems facing George Street today is crime. Numerous complaints have been made by residents about activities such as antisocial behaviour and even drug usage. Calls have been made to introduce more CCTV cameras to George Street, as it is considered to be lacking in resources to cut down on crime despite the large size of the street. This would allow residents to report any instances of a crime taking place, and officers could easily check the footage to examine the incident. This is a measure that not only could increase the amount of business on George Street, but the amount of people potentially living there too. George Street has a lot of problems besides crime. A lot of stores are closing down, and the fact that we don't have much promotional material for those stores doesn't help.
I think it needs a bit more promotional type stuff in George Street, like when they have street markets and things like that. They've started doing a small one, but it's nothing big. For business, I think it could be good for business because it's a lot of people do walk up and down George Street, but I think things like what they charge for parking doesn't help. But yeah, I think for business it could be good, but it could be a lot better than what it is. That's for sure. We could concentrate a bit more on the outside.
The main highlight of George Street is the Bon Accord Centre, a huge shopping centre that's home to a variety of stores and cafes. With local authorities seeking to improve parts of George Street, the Bon Accord Centre is one of the most cited areas in terms of improvement. Plans to redevelop the Bon Accord Centre have been submitted to the Aberdeen City Council. These plans include a glazed canopy over the entrance of the centre, as well as some new shops, a cinema, a flat, and even a hotel. A 4 or 5 storey building would need to be built in order to link the Bon Accord Centre to John Lewis. This plan would have costs attached. In order to make room for these expansions, the Santanders and Co-op stores would have to be completely demolished. The building at 41 Loch Street, having historically been a soup kitchen, will also have to be relocated. We've asked the general public what they feel about the expansions that are planned for the Bon Accord Centre, and the responses seem to be positive.
Well, they've got empty shops in there. It seems a bit strange that they're...
Well, I don't know too many of the details, but the Bon Accord Centre, I feel like there's not a huge amount of stuff in there already, so I guess adding more to it is always a good thing. But we have a lot of shopping centres already.
I think that would be a good thing if you're expanding out a bit and having a hotel, because we need that sort of things more in the city centre.
Yeah, I think any investment for the city is really good. It's a really positive message. For me personally, I think it's as Aberdeen continues to redevelop and focuses more on the leisure market and more of the evening and weekend side of things, it gives people an additional kind of activity or additional options to take place for residents locally and then for visitors to the city as well.
For the last couple of years, George Street has been looked down on by most of Aberdeen due to a lack of anything to do. With the local councils and the owners of Bon Accord Centre seeking to make additions to the Bon Accord Centre, the public are starting to show more interest in the street.